the Schulte Sweeties Homeschool YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 13, 9, and 6. I'm so excited to share with you today this astronomy course created by my friend Davene. She has named it Discovering the Wonders of the Universe, a Journey Through Astronomy. Now this is geared toward middle school. That's who she had in mind when she was creating this. You can adjust it a little less or a little more depending on your age group that you want to use this for, but I wanted to share this today and kind of give you like a little bit of a flip through and rundown of what it is about. It is 16-week course. But you can also, because she has it like listed out, you can kind of adjust that also to your own schedule. So this is kind of, it's very similar if you have used like Guest Hollow, where it has like a schedule and lots of resources, whether it's videos or books or experiments and things. It's very similarly laid out to that. So you can adjust it, make it your own, use some of the resources and maybe not use some of the resources. It says a literature-based multi-sensory guide for 5th through 8th grade. And then she is actually using it with her 9th grader. So I am also going to link down below her YouTube video that she has done on this, because she created it and her video is like so informative and so helpful. I just watched that as well, and it was helpful to watch just to see how she's doing it with her kids. And so I'm going to kind of go through it and tell you more about it. So this is just the guide, and that's got the guide and the book list and schedule and everything, has some links in here. So that is what her curriculum is. So you still need to purchase or find the books either used or get them from your library. I will show you a few of the books that I picked up. I did not find too many at my library, so when we use this course, we would need to probably like go on Thriftbooks or like those secondhand sale book sites to get more of them. I was hoping that I had more, but we did not have pretty much any of them. So I will show you a few of the ones that I found from my library and more information about the books. So the first thing is she has like the table of contents. She's got the book list. She has listed them as spine books that you really pretty much need for the course. Then there's optional Christian resources, narration notebook, and then additional nonfiction and fiction selections. So she has all of that laid out in this guide as well. One thing, I will go ahead and go to the next page. One thing, as I was already going through that, say like she has the optional Christian resources. This says, is it secular or religious? This is in her how to use this guide. So she wrote on here, although I am Christian myself, I have primarily used secular and neutral resources in the creation of this guide. You will find millions and billions of years mentioned regularly throughout this course, both in the spine resource books as well as suggested YouTube videos. Skipping any particular day in this resource will not cause a disruption in your child's learning, so feel free to skip any days or sections that you do not feel comfortable teaching. I have additionally included some Christian worldview resources that you can choose to add to this curriculum. I do not suggest you use this guide if you plan on only using the Christian worldview resources. However, as I do not feel that this would be a complete unit without the spine resources. So if you only want Christian resources, this might not be for you, but if you are okay with using like DK books as a lot of like the spine books, if you're okay with using those and then adding in those Christian resources, this is a great curriculum for you. It can also, I feel like, especially since this is geared toward middle school, like if you are Christian and want to use these resources, I feel like it's a good time to discuss it, because they are at that age that they're going to start having their own questions, especially. So I think that it would be great to add in those Christian books if you want to and make it more of a discussion time for you. And you can also still skip some of these pages. So I'm going to go ahead. There is daily reading and activity guide. There's also an experiment list on this in this table of contents. But here are like the lessons, what they're about. What is astronomy? History of astronomy, optical principles, the telescope and observatories, astronomers, the solar system, the Earth, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, dwarf planets, comets, asteroids, meteors, exoplanets, looking at the night sky, constellations, stars, black holes, the sun, galaxies, the Milky Way, deep space, the universe, Big Bang Theory, space exploration, satellites, space travelers, danger and disaster, space stations, science and space, Mars exploration, and then the future. And then the Appendix A has a weekly experiment supply list. So there's tons of topics. I feel like all of the topics listed are so great, like so many different topics in this astronomy resource. So on her little note for how to use, there's spine resources, there's Christian, additional. She goes through like different experiments. I think a lot of the experiments come from the books. And then she also suggests using a narration journal. It says, I suggest you try to have your student complete this in at least 2 to 3 times weekly, if not daily. This is your student's opportunity to show what they have learned from the day's reading or experiment. Depending on your student, you can choose to ask for only a written narration or an illustration along with a written narration. You can let your child choose to do their narration on nonfiction books that are being read, and then like the literature books they're reading, or both. You can use any lined notebook or draw and write notebook for this to see. So she has created some narration notebooks with this as well. So I will link that down below. I will link different things down below. Different ways to purchase this course. I think she even has a link to a free sample, so I will link all of that down below. There are videos. This definitely preview the videos before, just to make sure that you're comfortable with your child watching it. A lot of times when I have these like ones that have videos, we like save them on a playlist on YouTube. And then she also says, definitely make sure you back up your digital product to prevent loss. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the book list here. So these are the spine books, and she has listed out the book, given you a link if you want to purchase from her Amazon links, and then also given like a little introduction about the book. She lists what weeks they're needed, and then you can put notes here like where you're going to purchase it from, or if you have found it at your library or things like that. So there are all of these options. You might even be able to find like online versions like through Libby app and things like that. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spine books listed here. Then the optional Christian books are on the next page, and there are 1, 2, 3 listed here. And then you have the experiments book. This is for weeks 2 through 16, so it would be a great book to have, especially I think that's where most of the experiments come from. She has the narration notebook listed here that you can purchase also from Amazon that she has created. And then, or you could just use any notebook too. Then there's the additional nonfiction and fiction selections. Some of them are listed out by week, and then some are just like you can do them whenever. I counted out, I think there's close to 34 or so books, if I counted correctly, of the optional, of like the nonfiction and fiction reading. So that's what makes like it living books. And then there's this huge experiment list of like this master supply list of all the experiment things that you would need. Then you go into this, it's the daily reading and activity guide. And I love how she has it laid out, very similar to Guest Hollow. We love Guest Hollow. So that's listed by week, and then it's listed by day here. So this is the topic in the green right here. You can see that there's what is astronomy, and then history of astronomy. Then they have the spine resources and what page numbers you need to do for what day. You have Christian resources, and it gives you the page numbers there. And then fiction and add-ons right in this area. And then there's the narration journal, so there's a place to check it off if they've done that. You can add in your own notes. Maybe you have some other resources you want to add in to make it about this topic. You can add those in. And then there's videos. On this week, there's only 4 videos, so like 1 a day. This day didn't have any. But then on another page, let me go to the next lesson. I looked at this already. Week 2 is laid out very similarly. Have the spine resource, Christian resources, experiments, fiction and nonfiction, the narration journal. On this page, there are the main videos, and then there's additional videos if you want to add that in as well. Videos are always great learning resources, I feel like. And then she also has the timing on these too, so like the length, whether it looks like most of these seem to be 10 minutes-ish or less, like 10 to 12 minutes or less. So some are a little bit shorter and then some are longer. But that is pretty much every week laid out for you, giving you the resources. You don't have to use all of those resources. Like, you can kind of make this your own. Make it as long or as short as you want to. So if you don't want to do science every single day, maybe you're going to make it a whole year of focusing on this astronomy. So this is such a great resource for middle schoolers. Make sure you go check out all of the links I'm posting down below, but go and support Davene and go watch her video on this because she created it. She can answer all the questions. So I can try, or I can direct you to Davene at Common the Chaos Homeschool. She will definitely be able to answer them. Some of the books that I have found, I did not find all of them, but I have DK Space Exploration. Most of them I feel like, she has a lot of DK books in there. So there's DK Space Exploration. We have 50 Things to See with a Telescope. This awesome DK Space book. I love these books. We have several of them at our house. We don't have this one yet, but I got this one from the library. We have that. And then we have this astronomy book. Now, if I were to do this probably here in the future, I would probably add in some of the other space books that we have at our house that we've used in the past as well. So you can definitely kind of pull from your library as well. So those are just the 4 that I found at our library, but you could definitely find more books, either purchasing them used on Amazon or online. Maybe some of your library apps have them like a Kindle version, like a ebook reader as well. So I hope that this was helpful. Definitely check out her channel and check out the links down below. I hope you have a great day.